Earth has an abundance of natural resources that we, humans, sometimes take for granted. We use a lot of these resources in our daily activities. Coal is used for heating, plants and animals for daily food consumption, soil for agricultural and commercial needs. Some resources get used up while others can be replenished after some time. What do you think will happen if we use up all our available resources? How can we sustainably use them? In this video, you will learn about the ways on how to protect and conserve natural resources. At the end of this video, you should be able to cite and explain ways of using Earth's resources sustainably. Living things, especially humans, depend their needs on the materials available in nature. Wood from trees is used to build houses and other establishments. Fruit and leaves from plants are consumed either as food or natural medicine, and minerals from the soil, like copper, are essential to generate electricity. These materials, which are available in the environment without any action of humankind, are called natural resources. Natural resources are not limited to consumption, but they can also be used for economic gain. Natural resources can be described as renewable and non-renewable. Renewable resources are those that can be replaced immediately. Examples of this are wind energy, solar energy, hydrothermal energy, geothermal energy, and biomass. On the other hand, non-renewable resources are those that cannot be replaced or replenished immediately. Examples of this are oil, natural gas, coal, and nuclear energy. Let's identify what are the classifications of natural resources. We have varieties of natural resources in the environment where we commonly get our living. To survive, many organisms depend on water since it is one of the major sources of food. The Earth comprises 71% of water and 29% of land, which attests to how big is the contribution of water to maintain ecological balance. From this figure, 97% of the total water in the world is ocean or salt water, while 3% is only fresh water. Another concern is only 1% of the total fresh water in the world is available for human consumption. This shows how blessed we are of having clean water to drink daily. Another natural resource is the soil. It is the topmost layer of the earth or forms at the surface of land. It is the skin of the earth. Soil is capable of supporting plant life and is vital to life on Earth. Soil is produced from rocks through the process of weathering. Weathering is the process of breaking down or dissolving rocks into smaller pieces. This can be done with human intervention or chemical reactions occurring on it. Another is the minerals. These are solid substances that are present in nature. Minerals are extracted from the ground through mining. Minerals can be classified as metallic and non-metallic. Metallic minerals are those with high specific gravity and metallic properties. Examples of this are copper, gold, magnetite, and pyrite. Conversely, non-metallic are those that lack metallic properties, such as limestone, marble, gravel, clay, and sand. The most important among natural resources are life forms. These are living organisms such as flora or plants and fauna or animals. After knowing the richness of the natural resources in the world, let us identify the different energy resources that provide power to run machines, from tractors to computers. First are the fossil fuels. It is a non-renewable resource that takes millions of years to be developed. Fossil fuels are deeply found underground. They come from decayed materials of plants and animals which lived millions of years ago. Coal, oil, and natural gas are the common forms of fossil fuels. Coal is a combustible black rock formed from plant remains, while natural gas is formed deep beneath the Earth's surface. It contains many different compounds, and the largest component among those is methane. Another energy resource is geothermal energy. It is a renewable resource. Geothermal power plant uses steam from volcanic vents and springs to harness energy and generate electricity. In the Philippines, we have the Maybarara Power Plant located in Santo Tomas, Batangas. Another thing, Philippines is regarded as the second top producer of geothermal energy in the world. Next is hydroelectric energy, a renewable resource. Hydroelectric power plant uses flowing water from dams, rivers, and waterfalls to harness energy. With these plants, the flowing water turns a series of turbines which in turn produce electricity. One of the hydroelectric power plants in the Philippines is the Ambuclao Dam, located in Benguet. Another energy resource is biofuel. It is an energy resource from agriculture in the form of produce or waste. This waste include animal excrements, microalgae, and the unused parts of crops such as corn, wheat, and potatoes. Similar to fossil fuels, biofuels are combusted to harness their energy. In Davao, Philippines, the government has invested in harnessing energy from used cooking oil to be used for jeepneys. Last is nuclear energy, a type of non-renewable resource. A nuclear power plant is a type of power plant that uses the process of nuclear fission to generate electricity. Nuclear energy arguably can provide the most energy among all energy resources. In the Philippines, we have a nuclear power plant located in Bataan, which has been closed due to several concerns. Before going back to our main concern of protecting and conserving our natural resources, let us first identify the threats to it. First on the list is erosion. It is the process by which the surface of the earth gets worn down. Soil is being compromised because of intense erosion. In most cases, it is people which cause its faster rates. Removing vegetation that holds the soil in place would be easily eroded during rains. Next is deforestation. It is the clearing, destroying, or otherwise removal of trees through deliberate, natural, or accidental means. The major causes of deforestation is the illegal logging and kaingin system. Besides, the wildlife that depends on their survival from plants and trees might experience a decrease in population or get extinct if persevered. Another one is water pollution. This happens when harmful substances contaminate a body of water. This could lead to a decrease in the population of marine wildlife due to a reduction of oxygen levels in the water. Last is runoff. It is the draining of water from the surface of the land. Runoff increases toxic chemicals like phosphorus and nitrogen common to fertilizers and household detergents. This could lead to the increase of nutrient levels, a phenomenon called eutrophication. Eutrophication favors the growth of algae known as dinoflagellates, causing an algal bloom or red tide. Red tide kills a lot of fishes because of toxic substances released by dinoflagellates or of oxygen depletion. After identifying and understanding some of the threats to natural resources, let us know the ways to protect and conserve it. One of the ways to maintain the richness of our natural resources is through sustainably using it. Through this, sustainable development was introduced. It is meeting desired living standards for the present and future generations without destroying and depleting resources at levels that disrupt ecological balance. This intervention will create an opportunity to reduce global warming and climate change. Another program that promotes the protection and conservation of natural resources is sustainable land development. It pertains to proper and managed use of land through the utilization of technologies that do not harm the original structure of the land. It also includes practices to prevent land conversion and protect vulnerable lands, prevent and mitigate land degradation and restore degraded soils, control soil erosion, and improve soil water storage. In the Philippines, SLM is applied in Banawi rice terraces to efficiently use the land without harming it. Soil erosion is a common threat in sustaining our natural resources. To prevent it, we can construct riprapes in landslide-prone areas to preserve the land. Also, we can plant specific plants along with upland areas such as vetiver, since it helps to stabilize the soil and protects it against erosion, and it can also protect fields against pests and weeds. In terms of crop production, which we know are essential for our survival and even for economic gain of our country, agricultural sustainability must be observed and practiced. It is also a crucial part since it provides food in exchange for space, water, and minerals. Ideally, this industry should have maximum productions at minimal cost. Farmers and ranchers may engage in the development and adoption of practices that are profitable and environmental sound, like using natural herbicides and pesticides. Also, it supports research and education intended to help farmers and ranchers mitigate and adapt to climate change, such development of flood-tolerant rice. In addition, to preserve our natural resources, we must rely more on renewable energy resources over non-renewable energy sources. Our country should invest in building power plants that produce renewable resources such as solar energy, geothermal energy, and wind energy that could provide electricity to light up isolated places and to reduce the energy consumption harnessed from non-renewable resources. And lastly, policy implementation must be strictly observed and monitored by the agency or department responsible for it. The government must implement laws and regulations protecting our natural resources against violators. To be specific, explosives, indiscriminate fishing, coral reef destruction, and the use of fine mesh for fish nets are all being prohibited by the law. Also, it must limit and monitor the activities of mining sites to minimize harmful waste disposals. Protecting and conserving our natural resources is not only a governmental effort. Everyone in the community should be involved in ensuring that the resources we have at present will be preserved and consumed wisely for the present and future generations to enjoy. That ends our lesson. I hope this simple video has helped you to learn the ways on how to conserve and protect natural resources. Thank you for watching and have a day full of blast.